A quiet holiday party in Los Angeles quickly turned into a tragedy no one could imagine. Famous faces were gathered to celebrate and laugh. But one guest's unusual behavior began to make everyone uneasy. He wore a hoodie while everyone else dressed up, wandered around silently, and seemed anxious and out of place. That guest was Nick Reiner, the son of Hollywood director Rob Reiner and producer Michelle Singer. No one could guess that the events of that night would lead to a horrifying tragedy. Rob Reiner was not just any director. He gave the world timeless movies such as The Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally, and Stand By Me. His father, Carl Reiner, was a comedy legend. Michelle Singer, his wife, was a successful photographer and producer who also used her influence to fight for important causes. Together, they were admired by Hollywood and beyond, hosting friends from every corner of the entertainment world. On that Saturday night, the party at Conan O'Brien's mansion in West Los Angeles was meant to be festive. Decorations sparkled everywhere, and celebrities mingled in suits and dresses. But when Nick entered in a hoodie, things started to feel tense. Guests noticed he was not talking to anyone or joining conversations. He just moved quietly around the room, looking uneasy. One person at the party said he seemed anxious in a way that made everyone uncomfortable. The tension grew when Nick interrupted a private conversation with comedian Bill Hader. Even when told politely that the conversation was private, Nick just stayed silently and then left abruptly. That moment was a warning sign. Later, Nick and his father got into a loud argument. The shouting could be heard across the party. Nobody knows exactly what they argued about, but it was intense. Rob and Michelle looked upset and embarrassed. After the fight, they left the party. It was unclear if Nick went with them or separately. The next day brought a shocking and devastating discovery. Around 3:40 in the afternoon, police responded to a call at the Reiner family's home in Brentwood. Their daughter, Romy, had found her parents in a tragic scene. Rob, 78, and Michelle, 68, had been attacked with knives. Their throats had been cut. Holiday decorations surrounded the house, creating a chilling contrast to the violence inside. Police quickly focused on Nick Reiner. He was not at the house when his parents were found, but authorities located him later that evening near the University of Southern California. He was arrested without incident on suspicion of murder and is now held without bail while prosecutors prepare formal charges. Nick's story is heartbreaking and complicated. He had struggled with addiction most of his life. He first went to rehab at just 15 years old and spent years in and out of treatment programs. Despite his family's wealth, he even experienced homelessness at one point. In 2015, he co-wrote a film called Being Charlie, inspired by his own life. The movie, directed by Rob, was meant to help father and son understand each other better. Rob later said he realized the depth of Nick's struggles only through making that film. But understanding addiction is not the same as overcoming it. According to family sources, Rob and Michelle had tried everything: rehab, therapy, and new approaches, but nothing worked. Michelle reportedly confided to friends that they did not know what else to do and were exhausted, scared, and helpless. Nick himself had spoken openly about his darkest moments, including days-long cocaine binges and violent outbursts in the family home. His sister Romy knew about his struggles and specifically warned police that Nick could be dangerous. Adding to the shock, Michelle Obama revealed she had planned to see Rob and Michelle that very Sunday night. She spoke of them as kind, brave, and caring people, which made the tragedy even more painful for those who knew them. Her words reminded the world that this was not a story of fame or political conflict. It was a human tragedy. After the news broke, tributes poured in. Hollywood legends and former presidents spoke about the loss. Rob Reiner had inspired many with his films, his kindness, and his mentorship. But behind the public praise, a harder truth remained. This story exposed the brutal reality of addiction and mental health struggles. Even wealth, fame, and the best treatment in the world sometimes are not enough to save someone from themselves. Love and resources can only do so much when addiction takes hold. Nick Reiner remains in custody as the case moves through the justice system. The questions linger. What triggered that final moment of violence? Was it the argument at the party, or years of pain and struggle finally exploding? The Reiner family has asked for privacy, but the public attention is unavoidable given the tragic circumstances. The loss of Rob and Michelle Reiner is a reminder that no one is immune to the darkest parts of human struggle. Their legacy lives on through films, activism, and the countless lives they touched. But their story also serves as a warning about the devastating effects of addiction, mental illness, and unresolved family pain. Sometimes, even the strongest love and the greatest resources are not enough to prevent tragedy. This story is not just about Hollywood or fame. It is about a family that tried everything and lost everything. It is about the grip of addiction, the fragility of life, and the dangerous consequences when someone's mental health spirals completely out of control. Rob and Michelle Reiner's lives may have ended in tragedy, but their story will continue to teach